Sorry, I have a mouthful of Brussels sprouts.
Me too.
So we are not actually here to talk about this, but we have a fantastic festive episode coming up. We've done an interview with Chef Calvin from June's, and he has made the most delicious dish, which I've eaten probably 3/4 of already. So
we've demolished it quite well so far. Yeah, between us.
So everybody, listen out for this in November. Right.
Shall we get started?
Yes. Spoons down.
Welcome again to Nourished by Spinneys, where we bring you conversations that will inspire you to eat well and live well. I'm Devina Divecha.
And I'm Tiffany Eslick. We're continuing our conversations with leading players in the food industry, from farmers to foodies and health and well-being experts.
So, in exciting news, as we start this episode, we are a finalist in 2 categories in the 2025 Signal Awards.
Yes, we've cracked the thought leadership category this year, in addition to the arts, culture, and lifestyle category, which we actually won last year.
So the final awards come out in a couple of days, so we will bring you those updates in our next episode.
Yes, so where are we off to today, Devina?
So today we are going to Satwa. We are going to Eden House, which houses Moonrise, which has 1 Michelin star, which is also number 10 on the world's 50 best MENA category in the list. And it's a great place to go because Solemann, who is the founder and the head chef, is a Dubai kid. And he actually has some really cool memories of Spinneys when growing up.
Spinneys is one of those places that I spent my whole childhood in. And I think any Dubai
we
kid
talked
has.
about that last time as well, yeah.
It's like...
And you still shop there, right?
Yeah, I live in next to Meydan.
Yeah, because you go to the Meydan
so I go
one.
to the
I
Meydan
remember
one
the
and
conversation.
I get the butter chicken with like whatever biryani they have that day. It's actually a very nostalgic thing for me. Like when I go to Spinneys, it reminds me of my childhood.
Yeah.
Because my mom used to go shopping there all the time and I would always get lost and security would have to find me. Reconnect us.
Spinneys stories.
Good times. Good times.
Which Spinneys did you get lost in?
I got lost in the Spinneys. It doesn't exist anymore. They moved it. I got lost in the Spinneys in Dera.
Ah, okay.
There was one in Dera.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like I don't even know where it was because I was really a kid at the time. So I remember where it was, but it was like so fun. And they would play sick music.
Wow, I can't even remember the last time I went to Moonrise, which means I have to make a booking like straight after this recording. I just remember being blown away by everything. And yeah, it was a good few years ago. I loved the intimate setting.
Yep.
I liked interacting with the chef. And I thought the creations were so unique and interesting, and flavor bombs. That's what I remember.
It has been just over 2 years for me as well, which Solemann was reminding me through the episode. I actually went there when we interviewed him for the magazine last, and I'd eaten there before that as well many times. So it was a really good experience to interview him then versus now. He's changed in a few ways, but he's still super excited about what he does, still so passionate about his craft, and that was amazing to see. I need to try the food again, just like you, because every time that I've gone in the last few years, like 2 years ago, I remember thinking, I understand exactly what you mean by Dubai cuisine when I taste this food. As someone who's grown up here, it was so identifiable. Mm-hmm. And it's something that I'm so excited to have seen grown over the years and to kind of almost put Dubai food on the map, if that makes sense. Yeah.
I also really want to be invited on one of his bus tours. Yeah. Just putting that out there, guys.
We are both putting that out there.
They look like so much fun.
Yeah.
And I think he brings something really special to everything he does, So yeah.
No, I agree. And I think even with the restaurant, the changes that have happened, they went in for a renovation over the summer. And we talk about that on the episode, and you can see some of the changes in our videos as well. One of the statement pieces that is in the restaurant now, where you would sit in front of the chef's table, the only table that's there, is now this beautiful solid palm wood table. It's very much a reflection of where we are. The color of the ceiling is the same color as you would see in palm leaves. Mm-hmm. And it's that whole idea of being rooted in a place, which is really, really nice to see. And of course, we have a great view from the top of that building. So yeah, it's looking great.
I always make this joke.
Okay.
That I feel like a human palm tree.
Okay.
Because I grew up in Dubai.
Yeah.
I'm half French, half Syrian. So I'm not really from Dubai and I'm not really from Syria. So I always feel like a palm tree. You can find a palm tree anywhere in the Middle East. It's just a Middle Eastern thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's me. I'm just a Middle Eastern person. I don't know
Okay.
where I'm from.
Yeah.
You know? So I feel like I'm a human palm tree in that sense.
I like that. Yeah.
And I don't know. We just wanted to create a space that had no culture in it. Because if it was Syrian, it wouldn't represent me. If it was
Right.
Emirati, it wouldn't represent me. And it would exclude everyone who's not Syrian or Emirati or whatever. So we wanted to make a space that was designed around the idea of the materials and of this region,
Mhm.
so that anyone that comes
Yeah.
here can feel like this is my space.
Yeah.
I feel welcome here.
Yeah.
And we designed the space. So this is made out of hard palm wood. And then the ceiling is painted in the same textured green as you would see in the palm leaves.
Yeah. So we're sitting in the shade of a palm tree.
We're sitting in the shade of the palm tree where everyone is welcome. If you're from the place that has the shade of the palm tree, then you know that you're welcome here. And if you're just a traveler passing by, you also know that you're welcome here. So welcome to the shade of the palm tree.
Nice. I like
That's
that.
the idea of Moonrise. It's
Yeah.
like, how do you create a Dubai for everyone? How do you create a space for everyone? And it's by minimizing the amount of fixed objective culture and maximizing the acceptance of culture in that space. If
Nice.
that makes any sense.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we've done. And at night, the real inspiration behind this space is the idea of sitting around the campfire in the desert.
Ah, okay.
So
Yeah.
like we're sitting around the campfire in the desert in the shade of the palm tree. We were trying to put stars on the ceiling and we had approved the initial quote, but then the associated costs along with the installation, because it's like you had to install them one by one. The whole cost of
wow.
doing that would have cost like 300,000 dirhams. And we're like, maybe it's not worth it to do that just for the ceiling. So the lighting itself was like 60K. We're like, okay, fine, we'll do it. Then 300 for the installation. We're like, Salam alaikum. Thank you so much. So we ended up not doing it. But yeah, at night there was supposed to be stars in the ceiling as well.
I mean, there's
It's the only thing from the drawing that we decided not to do.
Okay,
Yeah.
so everything else is true to what...
It's there. It's true to what we wanted to do with this space.
Nice.
Yeah, we're very very happy, very proud of how it turned out. Well, of course, we have some snags now since the space is still new. But the contractor did a really good job, and they were here just before you guys came, and we're just finishing out roughing out the small snags to make sure that this space is beautiful now and in the future.
And you obviously were super involved with the design.
We spent 3.5 days per square meter designing the space. So 6 months, 52 square meters. You do the math, at 3.5 days per square meter.
That's super involved. Yeah.
Like we thought about everything.
Yeah.
We really went into all the details. And honestly, we're very happy with how it came out.
And this is the first time you've done it in so much detail, right? Like the renovation in terms of changes to the space, thinking about every single square meter.
Yeah, it was very, very detailed. Like I said, like it was 6 months of like, I didn't develop a new dish. It was 6 months of I didn't like work on the menu. It was 6 months of I was just doing service, and in the afternoon designing the space.
Wow.
Designing the space. There's no corner that you look into this restaurant and you won't realize that someone has put brain energy into it, brain thought into it, brain juice into it. And I think that like the intention of this space really shows everywhere. And I think that that's what I really love about this space. It's like, yeah, it's just 52 square meters, but how much energy can you put in 52 square meters?
Yeah, what can you do with it? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I'm really, really happy with how the space turned out. I believe it will age well, but only time will tell.
Yeah, we'll find out. I'm sure it will. But I want to talk about the food as well.
Yeah.
What can we expect from this iteration now of Moonrise in terms of the food? Are there any favorites that will stay on the menu? Have you changed up something?
For me, the most important thing is that we don't change the menu in one go. Menu changes in one go are very stressful. They cause a lot of anxiety. They're very stressful on the team. They're very expensive because you have to close the restaurant for a week. It just doesn't make sense. So what we decided to do is we phase dishes in, we phase dishes out. We evolve the menu over time. We find better ways to do the same thing. And when you find enough time, when you do the same thing in a better way enough times, you've actually realized that you've changed the menu without realizing that you've actually changed the menu.
Yeah.
So that's really the direction that we're going in, is like just evolving the menu, like how we evolved the space over time. So what you expect to see in Moonrise is just a more Moonrise.
Okay.
If that makes a more distilled Moonrise. You know, we've kept classics like the grilled cheese that everyone loves, but that I didn't like at all anymore.
No way.
So we've evolved it. We've changed it. We have the new grilled cheese. You know, we've taken a lot of dishes that were there and we've made them better or new or updated completely, or they've just been removed. Our famous pani puri is no more.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Interesting.
It's actually for allergies. If someone
Oh.
has like a special allergy for one of the snacks, that's the dish that they have.
Right.
So if I were you, I'd have an allergy on one of the snacks. So
Oh,
you can
okay,
have
fine.
that.
That's a
So you
good
can
tip.
have that
That's a
too.
good tip.
Or you can come to Moonrise and ask. I'll give it to you extra.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right, I will.
So you don't have to miss anything.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's fine. I like that. And I've asked you this question before, but maybe if someone hasn't been to Moonrise yet or still trying to figure out, when they're coming here, how would you describe Dubai cuisine? Because that's what you talk about when you talk about the food at Moonrise.
So when I wanted to define what we do, I wanted something very freeing. I didn't want something that is like that has boundaries. And I think Dubai is boundaryless in the same way that our cuisine is. Before, people used to call our restaurant Middle Eastern Japanese, which it was never. It was just,
Right, yeah.
we use a lot of Japanese ingredients. But for example, let's assume this Middle Eastern Japanese phrase for a second. Then now every dish has to be Middle Eastern and has to have Japanese ingredients. And if it doesn't have one or the other, I can't put it on the menu. It's so limiting.
Right.
It's so unfreeing. And I feel like in Dubai, you can do anything as long as it makes sense and it's correct. Then you can do it. And I feel like our menu is the same thing with Dubai cuisine. Dubai cuisine is anything. It's anything. To you, it's something. To me, it's something. To him, it's something. To her, it's something. I'm like, this is one of my big advantages. I was actually talking to this about this to my girlfriend yesterday. I'm half Syrian, half French, but my mom's originally Italian, and I grew up in Dubai.
Right. Yeah.
So I grew up and my favorite food is desi food. So I grew up exploring the world, absorbing the world, eating the world, and one bite at a time, one pani puri at a time, one liari style biryani at a time.
Nice.
And like, my brain doesn't think in cultures. My brain thinks in like adapters.
Right.
Like what works together. It's not about fusion. It's about like, this works here, this works here.
Yeah,
let's make this work, you know? So my brain doesn't see culture. My brain sees, I don't know how to explain it. My brain sees things that possibly work together and I make them work together, if that makes any sense. And that's what Dubai is.
Yeah.
That's what it is. Like 290 plus countries, 100 whatever languages, thousands of cuisines, and it's all here. I make this joke like, Dubai is like the biryani capital of the world because all the biryanis of the world are here. If you go to any part of Pakistan or India, you only have that region's biryani. But here you have every biryani. And in a greater cultural way that applies to Dubai. And I think that applies to our cuisine. So anything I do makes sense. Nothing I do is wrong because it's a cuisine that reflects the flavors of the city. And I have hundreds, thousands of cuisines that if I have any connection with them, I can use, and hundreds and thousands of memories that I can work with. So it's a very freeing concept that allows me to push what I believe in, which is the city, but in a very limitless way. Not in a, only these ingredients, only this time of the year, only, no, there's none of that. There's just flow, whatever I want. Like you can smell in the oven the prawns. This is a prawn brain powder that we make with butter chicken masala and chicken 65 masala that we mix with creme fraiche, chives, and a bunch of other, and chicken 65 masala. And we serve it with this weird batter we created. It's like a bit of a hybrid between tempura and fish and chips.
Okay.
And we fried Japanese prawns in. So we have an American dish, dynamite shrimp, fried with Japanese prawns in this international batter that we've created with a South Indian sauce that's cooked into a bisque, transformed into a powder, turned into a sauce in Dubai. Like it just, when you put it in this context, it makes no sense, but it makes so much sense.
Makes sense once you like actually
does that make
bite
sense?
it. Yeah. Yeah. Once you bite into it, it makes a lot of sense.
That's why I always, like, whenever I talk to people, I'm like, guys, my food makes so much sense when you eat it. Like I can't say it.
It's hard to explain.
It's hard to explain. It just makes a lot of sense. Just come and eat,
Okay, so but for this thing that you just described, where did you get that idea from? Like how did you?
Like I said, I don't think in cultures. I think in things that work together.
Yeah.
I don't like I always say this, like I hate when people call my food fusion because my food is not fusion. You can call my life fusion, but you can't call my food fusion. My food is just, this is what I grew up with. So it's so easy for me to make these connections. So a lot of people call my food creative. For me, it's not creative. It's like, that idea was floating here. That idea was floating there. I did eat that.
Kind of
and I did the math that I know that it would work. So I'm going to make this dish and I'm going to keep on pushing it to like make it work. So it's not as, I mean, maybe it's to me, maybe to you it is, I don't know. For me, it's not as creative as people make it seem because it's actually things that I grew up with. It's actually food that I grew up with. I'm just connecting them in a way that makes sense. I'm like an expert curator of my memories and flavors.
Okay.
Expert curator of memories. Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
I'm gonna
you
use
should
that
use
one.
that. Yeah,
I'm gonna use that
exactly.
one. Expert curator of memories.
I
and
like
flavors.
that. Okay, we'll use that. Yeah. And with that, like, when you described it and you said chicken 65, butter chicken, and I was just
With
like,
prawns, dynamite
what is
shrimp.
happening? Like, this is,
Yeah.
like you say, it's very Dubai. You'd have these things growing up. And I remember we once had a very long conversation about even your bread and kind of the flour you use. Are you still kind of using kind of ingredients like that in your menu?
I think it's very important, like a lot like the space. Our food should not have a lot of culture in it. Like it should not have a lot of one culture in it.
Yeah,
Our
yeah,
food should
yeah.
have a little bit of the cultures that make Dubai, that Dubai is comprised of. A bit like the space what we were talking about earlier. It's the same thing with the ingredients. The ingredients have to like be chosen intentionally to make sense with that dish. And there has to be a reason that is there.
Yeah.
Like everything that is like like how I was saying, everything in this 52 square meter restaurant, there was a why that had to be answered.
That's so
The food is the same thing. Why are we using this fish? Why are we using this sauce? Why are we making it make sense? How are we making it make sense?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're still following this idea of using as much of the local ingredients as possible. But the idea is really to use that in a way that we're supporting the city. We want to support the suppliers and the manufacturers and the mills and the local businesses. But also to an extent, it's about like capturing a very specific memory and hitting someone with that memory.
Yeah, okay.
So like Arabic bread doesn't have that much gluten in it. Arabic flour and Indian flour, maida, doesn't have. So number one, and maida, these two flours don't have a lot of going back to bread from 4 years. Resuming our conversation from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
2 years and 5 months and a half, sorry. So we're using maida, which doesn't have a lot of gluten. So you can't make a big fluffy bread with it.
Yeah.
But it has that home flavor. And then we use half of the bread is made with that. So that any Desi or Arab that eats this, like, bro, this is my home bread.
Yeah.
But then we're using baguette flour that we get from France because it has so much gluten, it gets so puffy.
Yeah.
So it's like, again, these ingredients are chosen intentionally there's a curation, there's a selection. And yeah, we're definitely still following that logic as much as we can.
And would you say that, in your opinion, that Moonrise as a concept is something that is pushing like the city's culinary conversation forward? It's something that's kind of taking it to the next level.
I mean, I like to think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no way that I answer this and I don't look arrogant. So I'm just going to say I like to think so. Yeah, I mean, like that's the point of what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
I feel like it's time. I'm not going to say enough of something, so I don't point my finger at something. I'm just going to shine the light on something.
Yeah.
I think it's just time that we shine the light on this region and the city and the cuisine of the city and the flavors of the city and how much I love this city. And I think that it's just time that we start creating our own formulas and our own language and our own food and our own flavors and our own dishes. And by the way, that's why I don't call my sauces like a beurre blanc. I call them like sarooq sauce or dynamite sauce or whatever, because I actually want people to copy me. And I want sarooq sauce to be like a sauce in Dubai, which everyone does. You know what I mean? It's really about creating like the future of gastronomy for the city. And that's like every decision I make has that in mind. So I cannot say yes. You can answer the question for me, but I would like to think so.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You know what I mean?
I would think so. Yes, definitely. When you said with the sauces, like you want people to copy that and have that around.
If you copy me, just call it what I called it. Please. If you copy me, just call it what I called it.
PSA to everyone.
Because we just need to create culture together. So take sarooq sauce, but call it sarooq sauce.
Yeah. Okay, fine. PSA.
It's just butter and ponzu. 55% butter, 45% ponzu, a bit of xanthan gum and blend it and put whatever you want inside. Just call it sarooq sauce. It should be heavy on the citric acid so it has a nice acidity.
This is a hot tip to everyone who wants to make this. He's given the recipe
But just call it
away.
sarooq sauce.
Yes, that's the only condition.
Yeah.
But one of the things you said that is unique to Moonrise is its non-alcoholic program and the drinks that you can find here.
I love our beverages so much.
I want to know more about that. Tell me more about it. How did you approach that? Okay, this is getting serious.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. For me, I always say this. Maybe it sounds weird to someone that doesn't know me or that doesn't see me on a daily basis how I work. Okay. But like if you could put antennas in my head and see how I felt, I don't feel at all like a chef. Like in my head, I'm not a chef. Okay. So sometimes people, like when I'm like, I get called chef. Yeah. Because like obviously I'm a chef.
You're the chef, yes.
But like I don't feel like a chef. Okay. Like for me, like I feel like an expert curator / product designer. Okay. Like I'm designing this product that you're buying, which is some time in Moonrise. And I'm designing that with my team about how to make everyone have the most insane, amazing time ever. And then they go home and they feel amazing. Yeah. I always say this is like making people see a new color. Okay. So like, let's say we live in a world where the color blue doesn't exist. Okay. And then only in Moonrise, the blue exists. Right. So you're going to come to Moonrise, you're going to eat food. I'm going to show you the color blue. and you're gonna go home and you're never gonna see it again.
Right.
Leave an impact with people when you design products with this kind of thinking in
Right.
mind.
Yeah.
If you're able to make them feel something that they've never felt or they've never seen or they've never tasted or they've never experienced before, they're gonna go home back to the world outside of my 52 square meter glass box, and they're gonna go back to how it was before they walked in, and they're gonna remember that here they saw color blue.
Yeah.
And then they need to come here 62 times to see the color blue 62 times. And that's really something that I tell myself all the time. And a big part of that is just thinking about creating products from a holistic point of view, not just, hey, I'm a chef. I don't care that the guest is this or is that. I'm a chef. This is my job.
Right.
They can go figure it out. No, like, you're in my home. I'm going to make sure you feel so good in this space.
Yeah.
And a big part of that is focusing on really having really good beverages. And I think a very big opportunity when it comes to designing F&B products is thinking about beverages as vessels of energy.
Okay.
Because beverages have a lot of energy in them. So with food, you can make a dish that tastes like the best Alfredo pasta you've ever had.
Yeah.
You can make a dish that tastes like the best Iranian kebab you've ever had. But you can't actually hit it because you're not actually having the same beef that they're using.
Yeah. Okay,
you're not actually having the same whatever that they're using. With beverages, you can distill the exact flavor and you can hit someone exactly like where you wanted them to, what you wanted them to remember.
Yeah.
So you're able to put a lot of energy into the beverages. So like a fun energy, a moody energy, a high school energy, whatever, you know what I mean? So we have a pina colada, alcoholic and non-alcoholic. We use specific ingredients that make it taste like high school. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
So like you're able to distill flavors with beverages. You're able to put a lot of energy into the beverages. And like it's like the bass in a song. It adds tempo. So when you're having like our non-alcoholic program, like one drink is like super punchy, sour, a bit too sweet, but not too sweet. One dish is very fresh.
Okay.
One drink is very mulled winey, but it's not alcoholic.
Yeah.
And you just have all of these drinks that have all of these different energies that they themselves bring out a specific energy from the dish.
Okay.
So like I always think of beverages as an energy. What energy do you want to bring out of the dish? It's like you can have a song and you can have different types of bass.
Yeah.
And all the different types of bass will make the song sound different energy.
Yeah.
And that's that's how I approach beverages. Like giving the dinner the energy that I want. Wow, I feel like I answered the question very philosophically, but not
That's
actually.
Fine.
Not actually.
It's fine. You can answer it how you like.
But our non-alcoholic program is something that I really love, that I'm very proud of. Ashley always pushes me to make it better, and I agree with her, and we can always be better. And now she's like, remove a drink, add a drink. And I'm like, yes, chef. We will. But it's just so fun because you're looking at it as something that adds a lot of tempo to the meal. From an ingredients point of view, you also have the opportunity. Sorry, the Arab in me came out opportunity.
That's fine.
Opportunity to use all of these different ingredients that you don't use in the menu because you haven't found a way to make it click yet. But you're really making them work on a drink. So we have a drink, we call it lumicello. It's like limoncello, but non-alcoholic. We make it with lumi and Japanese ginger and cedar honey from Hatta Farms.
Oh, interesting.
It's
okay,
so good. It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
We have another drink, a blue pina colada that's non-alcoholic that we make with oolong tea and baby pineapples from Thailand.
Okay.
And we're using all of these different ingredients to create these very fresh and very yummy flavors.
And your favorite one you said is the lumicello?
No? It used to be, but then khalas, I drank it a lot. I think my favorite one is either the jasmine tea and Thai lychee one that we have with the dessert.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Or we call it baby Hawaiian. It's like a pina colada, but made with baby pineapples, and it's blue, so it looks like a blue Hawaiian.
Nice.
So we make it with, like I said, with oolong tea.
Yeah.
Super fresh, super easy, made with coconut water, very hydrating. It's the drink that people finish it fast and we top it up and they're like, more. So like we had a dinner 2 days ago and the guy ran out in the middle of service. He's like, chef, I don't have any more for second service. We're like, okay, we figure it out then. Now we need to give the guests, they're asking for more. So I think that one's my favorite.
Oh, that does sound popular.
3 ingredients: coconut water, oolong tea, and pineapple.
Nice. It sounds like you're obviously exploring a lot with, the non-alcoholic beverages, but also how to maybe evolve, like you said, the menu. Now that you've reopened in this version, as, we can call it, what are you most excited about in terms of exploring?
I'm so excited to make my guests happy.
Yeah.
I'm always so excited. Like, how can I find ways to make people have more fun in my restaurant? Like that's always the goal. I always tell our staff, I always say this. People leave the restaurant, they're not going to remember a conversation, they're not going to remember the food, they're going to remember the feeling. It's the same thing as me. When a guest comes back after a year, I'm not going to remember their name or what we talked about. But when I look at their face, I remember a feeling like, oh, good feeling, this person is so sweet.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, okay, extra care to this person. Like, you know what I mean? And I think, and people leave the experience with the same feeling. Come back a year later, they're not going to remember anything. They're going to remember how they felt in Moonrise.
Exactly.
So it's really important that you make people feel really good, really happy, and you make them have fun and you have fun in the process. This is like the pillar of what we do. And this is always going to be the pillar of what we do. And in all my secret plans, I was telling you before we got the camera turned on, that's always going to be the pillar. So it's always about how can we make people have more fun? How can we make people enjoy more?
Yeah.
The food being amazing and energetic, that's part of it.
Yeah.
The beverages being cool and like, oh, I didn't know that this drink could taste like that and works well with the dish. That's another part of it. But it's really about looking at the product from a holistic point of view. From the second that that elevator they walk out of it to the moment they walk out of this door.
Yeah.
We have to think of it from a holistic perspective.
Yeah.
So what I want to give my guests is fun and good time and good memories and enjoy.
I've had repeat guests as well, like loads.
Yes.
Yes.
We have Mr. Stanislav, who's been here. This week is 42, right?
It's 45 plus already.
45 plus.
45 plus already.
Wow.
Yeah, we actually have dinner with him today. See tonight,
Amazing.
Stan. So like we have, my dad's been here 65, but my dad doesn't count.
Yeah, your dad has to show up. Yeah.
When he comes here and then like Ashley's like, I'm going to sell him because my dad doesn't drink. She's like, I'm going to sell him uni caviar and truffle. I'm like, poor guy. Okay, go ahead. And then he gets the bill. He's like, what the hell is this? I order beverages. I'm like, exactly. We need to make money off you somehow.
Bless him.
So bad.
Oh.
Bless him. My dad's the best.
Yeah.
He comes here a lot and like the team loves him and he's so sweet. Having that, I call it the Moonrise family, like these people that were just guests, that are people from Dubai that have come here again and again and again. And now we have this like family-like relationship with them. I could literally call like our top 20 regulars. I could call them now and just go like, hey, how are you, bro? And cut the phone on their face. And they would go like, oh, Solemann, what a character. Like, they would get it. You know what I mean? Like they get it. They're part, we're very close. And I think being able to build those relationships being able as a business to build real relationships as real people with real people. That's really what we want to do. And we do that with the food, with the drinks, with the service, with the space, with the table, with everything coming together.
I actually wanted to go back to the renovation.
Yes.
You know, you were talking about the detail and the time you guys put into it. Was there, obviously it's a 52 square meters of visible space.
Oh my God, I don't want to answer this question. I feel like I know it. Okay, go ahead.
What was the most challenging part about
Disaster
it?
question. Nothing. You know, like guests are like, can I see photos of the renovation? I actually tell them, no, I don't want to see it. I'm so traumatized by
Really?
Yeah, because like, think of it this way. You have a restaurant that everyone loves.
Yes.
And you have no obligation to close it. And now you've shut it down. You've invested a lot of money.
How long did it shut for, by the way?
Less than 2 months.
Okay, fine.
That's the magic and the non-magic of it.
Right.
So like the way I was thinking of it the whole time is like, I had no obligation to do this.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to do it, it has to finish on time and it can't harm the restaurant.
Yeah.
So like, imagine you have a restaurant that people love and then it's May 31st and then tomorrow morning, literally the restaurant is broken and empty and there's nothing in there.
Yeah.
Like I planned for it, but nothing can prepare you for the feeling of it of like
seeing
I
it
have
and
nothing. I literally have nothing. Like this, the only thing that this restaurant has now is an alcohol license, a trade license, and a bank account.
Right.
There's nothing else, and a few assets. There's nothing else. So it was very, very, very difficult, very, very stressful. Like I think the biggest challenge was me as the owner of the restaurant, making the restaurant go through this and seeing the restaurant going through the renovation was a very big psychological tax, like a very big one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I prepared for it, but nothing can prepare you for it.
Like when it actually happens.
It's so hard. Like I love this restaurant so much. Look. I really love this restaurant so much.
You kissed the palmwood table.
I kissed my palmwood table.
Yeah.
But like, so like making the restaurant go through that is very, very hard.
Yeah, but you've come out the other side and look how it looks. It's amazing.
Yeah, now, so we can talk about that.
Yeah.
That part.
The next
But there was
part.
always challenges. There's always challenges. Like the ceiling is so congested. So we barely had space to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, like the MEP is here, but we need it there. And we only have 52 days to do the construction. There was so much work like involved with it. And like I was very hands-on. The interior designers were very hands-on, and the interior decorator, like the fit-out guys, were very hands-on. If one of us dropped the ball, we wouldn't have finished on time. But we were here every day working on this project. They were working 24/7. So at night they weren't doing noise, and in the morning they were making noise. It was like just like that. Let's talk about good things. Let's talk about how the table is.
The table is lovely.
There you go. Very beautiful table.
It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I can only imagine how nice this looks at night. You talked about how you try and curate and connect things together when you're kind of working, you know, with your menu. But if I asked you like what inspires you usually when you're doing things, is it still the same answer, like around ingredients or around different cultures or things you've experienced?
I think that's an issue that I see a lot in our industry that I don't really like is that chefs are always inspired by chefs.
Right.
But like the number of people, like the percentage of people that are like successful chefs, like there are chefs full stop, successful or not in this world is like 0.00001. So you've limited your inspiration to like
okay,
like
see,
100,000
sure,
people maybe
sure.
that have ever existed.
Sure,
Whatever.
yeah.
Like, so for me, I think it's very important to be inspired by a lot of different people through a lot of different times that have done a lot of different things, and being inspired by their work and their ability to get work done, or their ability to create, or their ability to communicate, or their ability to sell. And I think that I look at these things from a very holistic point of view. Creative people inspire me. Smart people inspire me. I just get, I mean, from a design point of view, like I said, it's about representing the region in a very non-cultural and in a very accepting of everyone way. But in terms of like what inspires me, anything or anyone could inspire me. My landlord, I love our landlord. He inspires me so much.
Great.
Like sometimes when I'm stressed, I go like, what would he do?
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's really about not limiting yourself to who,
Like,
to who or what inspires you, and being open to like to seeing any form of inspiring communication in anything.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah. And to close off our conversation, I'm going to ask you a question that we ask everyone. What is it that nourishes your soul?
Making my guests happy.
Okay. Yeah.
That's like, that's why I wake up and that's why I sleep. They're everything in this restaurant. They should be everything in every restaurant. So making my guests happy. Like my favorite part of the day is when I drive home and I drive home and it's like 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and I'm like, okay, I have successfully handed over my responsibilities for the day. I can sleep tonight properly.
Right.
So making my guests happy, giving my guests a good time, and doing it in a way that I'm representing this region in a forward moving motion. I think that's the most important thing.
Okay. Amazing.
Taking our region forward, defining the gastronomy of the city, and in the meantime, making people have an amazing time in their association of the future of the gastronomy of this region.
Yeah. Love that. Yeah. Thank you.
That's what nourishes my soul.
This episode was brought to you by Spinneys and was hosted by me, Devina Divecha, and Tiffany Eslick. We're produced by Chirag Desai. Don't forget to follow Spinneys on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok for more. And you can also visit us at spinneys.com, where you can shop for fresh produce and a variety of local and exclusive products.
We'll be back in 2 weeks. See you then.